Why, hello everybody, it is Kyle from Unboxed Autos, and today I'm excited to show you guys the 2023 Hyundai Palisade XRT Edition. We're going to go ahead, tell you guys exactly what it means to have the XRT Edition, talk about the Palisade, we're going to go over the exterior design features, the interior, the technology, and then lastly take it for a drive and find out how it stacks up and compares against other vehicles in this segment like the Ford Explorer, Chevrolet Traverse, and vehicles like that. So nice three-row family vehicles, and the Hyundai Palisade is up there at the top of the list. Of course, it shares the same platform with the Kia Telluride. Really exciting vehicles for the segment. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Why, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we bring you an exclusive review of the 2023 Hyundai Palisade XRT Edition, an all-new rugged model that has made its debut here on the 2023 Hyundai Palisade. So this vehicle is really all about family. So it's about family functionality and value. It's a three-row, very spacious vehicle. It's the largest vehicle in the Hyundai portfolio, and the XRT is a nice model complement to the Santa Fe and Tucson XRT models. Also some other vehicles in the Hyundai SUV lineup. So first up, let's talk about what exactly the XRT model brings to the table. First up would be these 20-inch wheels. So right here, they're done in black. It's meant to give it, more of a rugged exterior design. We also see that here with the lower body panels here. This is a rugged element meant to, kind of complement that overall design theme that they're going for. In terms of the front, we have a front and rear fascia that's specific here to the XRT. It's obviously done here in a black, and we also have this unique grille. It's been updated from the previous generation. We have here little LED daytime running lights, and it kind of looks a little bit, at least in this front corner area, like the new BMW 7 Series. So kind of a, it definitely has a unique look to it, something that definitely, stands out and looks different than other vehicles on the road. The other thing that we have going for us here would be the black roof rails. So in terms of functionality, as you can see here, we have some Hyundai roof rails attached. So if you need to take bicycles, or you want to take a canoe or anything like that, it's pretty easy to do and ready to go. So yeah, really it's about taking the XRT version is about adding a few different trim pieces like we just talked about, like the front grille done in dark, the body panel trim, and the wheels. It doesn't stand out quite as much on this model because it's all black on black, but on the white exterior paint color, it does stand out a little bit more. Now, the base price for the Palisade itself is $35,900. The XRT comes in at $41,200, and then the calligraphy, which is the top end trim above even the limited model, features some really nice luxurious interior touches like Napa leather. That's going to come in at $49,850, which, when you think about it, for this segment is actually a pretty decent value, and there isn't really a ton of price difference between the mid-level model and then the top of the line calligraphy edition. In terms of the overall design language of the Palisade, it really has this forward, facing lighting signature design. It really offers, some sharp edge technical appeal, and, it really does, fit with what I would consider, premium flagship presence. It has an extended hood profile and, really creates, pretty impressive road profile. And it really also, as you can, probably see, it has a pretty wide stance. And it's a very popular vehicle. The Hyundai Palisade is, really a top seller. Something other to note here are the very wide rear doors, so it makes getting in and out of vehicles super easy. We'll go ahead and step in the back seat in a few moments, but as you can see here, it has a very large rear door. It makes entering in here very easy, so if you have kids or anything you need to do back here, that makes that super convenient. You know, the interior design of the 2023 Palisade really combines, you know, relaxation and comfort, creating a nice, serene environment for up to 8 passengers. And it's really, you know, really good for long drives. And, you know, one thing that I really like is that, you know, the heated seats are available here in the second and third rows even, which is really nice. And plus seat ventilation, you know, in terms of cooling, offers added luxury, which I think is great. There's also an available full display driver center rear view mirror, and there's also some slim horizontal air vents which add a sense of spaciousness and premium ambiance, as you can see from the front up there. And of course we'll dig in and go up there in a moment, but just to give you guys, you know, a better idea of the rear seating area, and this is a more, you know, base model, but we have the auto climate control, a 12 volt 180 watt right there, USB-C in both driver and passenger seats, decent amount of space back here in these door pockets. But what's really great is all the legroom. So much room, so spacious. This car is fantastic in terms of space. Really like the rear seats here can recline nicely, and yeah, it's really good. These seating surfaces too feel really nice to the touch, and there's some decent side bolstering right here as well, which is something you don't see a lot on the second row, so it's very comfortable. Of course, we also have a fully adjustable armrest as well, so you can kind of place it wherever you want and it will stay. Let's actually also, for the sake of being thorough, climb here into the back row. Okay, so it's okay. I could stay here for a little while. I'm 5'9" roughly, so anybody over like 6 feet tall probably could not fit back here. But you know, if you need to go take some friends or kids from soccer practice, would definitely not be a problem. These seats also can go forward, so you can create extra room if you need to for the third row. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But yeah, wow, this is so comfortable. Really great back here. In terms of exterior technology, what we do have here, of course, is keyless entry. So you go ahead and just touch this little sensor to lock. To unlock, you go ahead and just place your hand here behind the door handle, and it will go ahead and unlock that way, and in you can go. There's also, of course, the ability with the Hyundai technology to go ahead and actually use your phone as a key, so you can actually unlock your car with your phone, which I think is a really nice feature to have. In terms of rear space, with the third row up, it's really not too bad. You can definitely fit some luggage back here without a problem. Of course, these two both fold down, as do those, so it really creates a lot of cargo space if you need it, which is nice to have for utility purposes, of course. And even in the back here, we have a 12 volt 180 watt, so you can go ahead, step on in there, plug something in if you need to charge a bike tire or anything like that. Second row, they fold right here with these two buttons. So as you can see here, I'll go ahead and fold the right one down, and it's moved up a little bit, so it didn't fall all the way down, but they both do fold all the way flat there, so really convenient to have. And go ahead and press this right here, so it is automatic as well. So go ahead and close. You may have seen this earlier, but of course we have the XRT badging right here, Palisade across the center, Hyundai logo, H-Track. This is the all-wheel drive. And then we have the rear lighting element, which is comprised of these 3 different segments. We have the reverse light, and then we have these 2 right here, some brake lights. Nice little design accents here. It's a full LED system, by the way. And I feel like this design element right here, how it curves to the side and down, is a reflection of the front end design. So kind of nice that they tied that in there also. But yeah, guys, overall, I think you know, they did a nice job with the Palisade, and it really is a really overall fantastic package for families looking for utility, comfort, and value. We're gonna go ahead now, pop the hood, and take a look at what's underneath and give you guys some specs. Underneath the hood here, we have a 3.8 liter V6 dual CVVT direct injected engine. It produces 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. and it is delivered through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Palisade is available both with H-Track all-wheel drive and then also 2-wheel drive model. So let me tell you guys, the power numbers aren't fantastic. It's basically enough to get by. It's enough to get by, but it's certainly not what I'd call, a powerful family vehicle like the Ford Explorer ST, for instance. Obviously has a lot of power, but again, this is we're looking here at affordability and durability. So it's just your standard V6. There's no turbocharging, so theoretically the engine has less parts to replace on it in the future if something goes wrong. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and check out the inside. We're going to be spending a lot of good family time. All right, now right here in the door panel, we have this nice material right here. It has a unique texturing to it. It feels pretty good to the touch. Right here we have a sort of a unique plastic, I'd call it. It's a rather rubbery, softer plastic, so I like this material. It's a better feeling than, say, something that's up here, but even this isn't really that bad. I think this is something that, other automakers do well in comparison to the US automakers. Some of the plastics are actually quite a bit nicer and softer, even in, the low to mid-level trims. This is a mid-level trim. So you also have above this, you have a more luxurious limited model, then of course again the calligraphy, which is the top of the line. Even the window controls, they all feel very nice and durable. They are also one touch up and down for the front too, and then the back are just standard. Right here we have, of course, the child lock button, mirror controls, but overall I really do like how it all feels. It's put together quite well. Even the seat control buttons also have this nice trim around them, and they feel decent to the touch. In comparison to some other in the segment, the build quality here is pretty good. The seats are also extremely comfortable. Really good side bolstering here. The back is nice and plush. And then the bottom of the seat here actually extends out quite far, so giving your legs a nice amount of support. Let's go ahead and step inside. But as you can see, even on this XRT model, look at the, the kind of unique design language that we're using here. We have this panel that's popped out. We have this unique curvature of this line right here, another layer here. So, it's nice to look at. Also, the doors sound pretty good and solid when they close. Here are the air vents. We touched on those earlier. The unique design, the nice thin air vents across look pretty cool. Once again, we have that nice material here, giving it, an overall a more durable, rugged, modern look to it. Push to start. All right, the engine sounds good. I do like that we have a V6 here. It doesn't sound whiny or anything like that. Even when you're pushing it really hard, it still sounds good. What I do not a huge fan here of this this digital instrument cluster that looks like it's from the mid, well, I guess the early, we'll call it the early 2000s. It looks like something that they would have experimented with, so it kind of looks a little funky, not gonna lie. I feel like we're in Star Trek with it. Also I feel like we're about to take off into the next galaxy with that one. But in terms of functionality, we have right here different screens. So we have the drive info screen, we have sensory fueling information, and we also have how long on the timer. A little navigation pop-up there, tire pressure display, and then where the power is being routed to from the all-wheel drive system. That's all controlled right here. We also have the distance-guided cruise control, which is a phenomenal feature to have. We absolutely love that. We also have the lane departure warning and lane keep assist. So that really works well across the entire Hyundai portfolio vehicle. So we really do like that. We have our audio controls, a favorite button, so you can program that to whatever you'd like within the menu. Phone call, of course, voice command, and then right here we even have some little paddle shifters. So, if we're going downhill, we want to do some engine braking, or, keep it for whatever reason in a specific gear, we can do that. tow mode right here, which has been reconfigured a little bit. We have the traction control off button right there. And that's a little bit of a lighting cluster dimmer. Hold this to open the trunk. Electronic parking brake, and that completes that side over there. In terms of the steering wheel design, very, very comfortable to hold economically. It's really well designed. You can hold it in many different places. I like that they've opened up a nice space down here, right here. So again, really great. The steering wheel quality, the leather that they've used here is very nice and soft to the touch. Again, once in this segment for the price point, very good. Even the end of the blinker knobs are textured, which is a nice touch. I'll go ahead here. We have the auto wipers, mist, of course, one wipe, rear wiper, pretty simple and self-explanatory there. All right, so right here we have all of our climate control functions. So we have 3 different levels for auto climate control. We have low, medium, high, and it tells you right here which level you're at, so you can go function between those. And the point of that is, let's say you get in your car on a really hot day, you put it to 70 degrees, it's going to go ahead and just do maximum blower speed, but perhaps you don't want all that noise, so you can pop her down into lower medium. And then even just if you're driving on a road trip, you just want a little less airflow, really nice to keep it in auto mode, but adjust within a certain range the level of blower speed that it will allow. We also have rear climate control. We have them all synced up right now, so adjust them all at the same time, but you can also control it independently as well. Right here we have our heated seats, 3 different options for both the driver and passenger. We have the auto hold, so if you're in traffic, this is a nice feature, and you don't actually often see it on cars in this price point. For some reason, it's more of a premium feature on a lot of vehicles, but it's great to, especially again, driving in like New York City or something like that, you're going to be, stopped a lot of the time. You have that on. What that will allow you to do is when you put your foot on the brake and you come to stop, it will hold the brake, so you can release your foot off of the brake pedal. So that is nice to have to kind of rest your leg, so you're not holding onto the brake for hours at a time. Again, park, reverse, neutral, drive, very simple right here. Put it into reverse. We do have this camera right here. There is the option for a 360-degree view bird's eye camera, but this does not have that. This has your standard backup camera. Of course, drive, you just press to go into drive. Park, you just press and it goes right into park. We also have a few different settings here for drive mode: sport, eco, snow, smart. We actually have a electronic center lock, so that is kind of nice. It's definitely nice to have. Again, in this segment, not everybody has that, so if you get caught a little bit in some snow, that can be a nice feature to have. Or if you're doing a little bit of, climbing, if you do happen to take your Palisade XRT off-road, it is nice to have that. I found going between the different modes, there's not a ton of difference. Again, we're not working with a ton of power here, so there's not a lot to modulate. But for instance, snow mode would be helpful to give, it will reduce the throttle sensitivity, so that can be helpful for taking off. Same with eco mode. Comfort and sport's going to increase that, of course. So not a ton going on there, but it's nice to have it, and it looks cool. I think a little textured design right here, kind of spins around, and it looks good. In terms of all the buttons right here, we have our 12-inch navigation system. So this is our main screen. It displays actually some a little outline of the navigation map over here, and then so as you can see here, some little wavy lines, something kind of fun to look at. Very quick to respond. Overall, a pretty simple system. It has a nice navigation, decent maps. I'd say overall it looks decent. It's not the top of the segment, but it's by far from the bottom. So it's very user-friendly and easy to use. Of course, we do have CarPlay functionality as well as Android Auto if you just go ahead and plug it in. So that's fantastic. Really makes nice use out of this display right here. And then, of course, obviously, once again, we have the digital display right there. We also do have a sunroof right here, which is nice to lend some natural lighting. And all of that is controlled right here. I just want to touch on this button right here for the sunroof control. I like how it's textured right here. So this is, I think, a good example of how I feel European automakers and Koreans, etc., they seem to put just a little bit more effort and thought into things like this. Also, they seem to be slightly less concerned with profit per vehicle. I feel like they go ahead and they put a little bit more money into their vehicles at the lower trim levels, and you get basically more for less, higher quality for less money overall. But yeah, guys, so nice interior for this segment, and now we're going to go ahead and take it for a drive and see how it drives on the road. All right, guys, so obviously 291 horsepower is not a lot. It's not a lot for a vehicle of this size. However, the power it does have is delivered smoothly through the all-wheel drive system to the wheels, and the 8-speed automatic transmission is pretty good. So I'd say overall driving dynamics are average. In terms of handling, there is a fair bit of body roll when you are making quicker turns, and at times you do feel like you just wish you had just a little bit more power. However, when you think about the whole package, it is pretty decent, but we do still wish we had just a little bit more pep in the step. I would recommend getting the all-wheel drive, because with the front-wheel drive, it has a tendency, when you really kind of want to step on the gas and get a little speed going, it has a tendency to do a little bit of wheel spin. And I'm not even talking about flooring. I'm talking, when you want to get up and go a little quickly. It's just, it's pulling a lot at once, and how the throttle mapping is done here on this car is it likes to throw a lot of power right to the wheels all at one time, even when you're going for more limited acceleration. And that's because they know that this car isn't super powerful, and they want to make that throttle as responsive as possible. But for everyday driving, it is exactly what you need. When you want to pass on the highway briskly, you could use a little bit more. In terms of the ride comfort, it's average. The seats are very comfortable. The suspension is average. And again, it does like to produce a bit of body roll into the turns. You won't notice it if you're not pushing it, but if you push it slightly, you will get some noticeable body roll. And I'm comparing this essentially to the Ford Explorer and the Chevrolet Traverse. They offer slightly better handling characteristics, and of course the Ford Explorer ST does have a twin turbocharged 6-cylinder, makes a ton of power, definitely more than you'd ever need. However, that vehicle is also a lot more expensive than this one. So once again, when I'm talking about this car, in terms of holistically the whole thing, you look at the entire packaging, it is top of the segment. It's super high quality for the price point. The driving is decent, and the functionality of the technology is nicely integrated, and it really is a nice vehicle to drive every day. And I do personally appreciate its unique design language of the front. Not everybody will, but I like that they did something different. And if you prefer something slightly more rudimentary looking, then you can go for the Kia Telluride, which is also a very good looking vehicle. I'm not going to deny that. But yeah, guys, in terms of a 3-row, 7-8 passenger vehicles in this segment at this price point, the Hyundai Palisade really does deliver a nice full. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you've enjoyed my review here on the 2023 Hyundai Palisade XRT edition. Until next time, I'm Kyle from Unboxed Autos.